Stop wasting money on seeds every single spring. What if I told you there are 9 incredible crops you can plant just one time, and they'll keep feeding you year after year after year with almost zero effort? No replanting, no rezoing, just pure, delicious harvests that multiply on their own. Sounds too good to be true? Stick around, because what I'm about to share will completely transform the way you think about food gardening. Hey there, garden friend. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we grow more while spending less. If you're new here, you've just stumbled onto the channel that's all about practical, budget-friendly gardening that actually works in the real world. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into something that's going to save you serious money and time. And to my returning viewers, thank you for being part of this incredible community. Your comments and questions keep inspiring these videos, so let's jump right in. Now, before we get into these 9 forgotten champions of the perennial world, do me a quick favor. If you want more money-saving garden tips that actually make a difference, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss out. Trust me, by the end of this video you'll be planning your forever garden, and you'll want to catch every single tip we share on this channel. Alright, let's get growing. So here's the thing about most vegetable gardens. We've been conditioned to think gardening is this annual cycle where you start from scratch every single year. Buy seeds, plant them, harvest, then do it all over again. But what if I told you that's just one way to garden, and honestly, it's the expensive way? Our grandparents and great-grandparents knew something we've mostly forgotten. They planted crops that came back on their own, got stronger with time, and basically ran themselves. These are perennial crops. And today we're talking about 9 absolute powerhouses that'll keep your kitchen stocked without breaking your back or your wallet. Let's start with number 1. Plant 1 walking onions. Have you ever heard of an onion that plants itself? Walking onions, sometimes called Egyptian onions or tree onions, are genuinely bizarre in the best possible way. Instead of making seeds at the top like regular onions, they grow tiny bulbs up there. These bulbs get so heavy they bend the stalk over to the ground, where they root themselves and start a whole new plant. It's like the plant is literally walking across your garden, creating new onions as it goes. You can harvest the underground bulbs just like regular onions, the little top bulbs for pickling or cooking, and even the green shoots like scallions. Every part is edible, and they multiply faster than rabbits at a family reunion. The best part? They're cold-hardy, pest-resistant, and they actually prefer to be left alone. Plant them once in a corner of your garden, and you'll have fresh onions available pretty much year-round. Just grab what you need when you need it. Plant 2 asparagus. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Everyone knows about asparagus. But here's why I'm including it. Most people have no idea just how long these things produce or how little care they actually need once established. An asparagus bed, if you treat it halfway decent, will keep producing for 20 to 30 years. Some beds have been documented producing for over a century. Think about that for a second. Your great-grandchildren could be eating from the same plants you put in the ground this year. Yes, you have to wait 2 to 3 years before your first real harvest. That's the patience part. But once they get going, a well-established asparagus bed will give you fresh spears every spring for decades. We're talking about one of the most expensive vegetables in the grocery store, and you can have it for free every year just by planting some crowns once. The trick is giving them good soil with plenty of compost, keeping them weeded in the first couple years, and then just letting them do their thing. They're tougher than they look. Plant 3 Lovage. Here's one that deserves way more attention than it gets. Lovage is this massive, gorgeous plant that tastes like celery had a baby with parsley, with a little hint of anise thrown in for good luck. While regular celery is notoriously fussy and takes forever to grow, Lovage is the complete opposite. Plant it once, and it'll shoot up to 5 or 6 feet tall every year, giving you armloads of flavorful leaves, stems, and seeds. You can use it anywhere you'd use celery. Soups, stews, salads, stocks. The leaves are incredible in salads, the stems work beautifully in cooking, and the seeds can be used like celery seed in recipes. One plant is honestly enough for most families. It dies back in winter, then comes roaring back bigger and stronger each spring. Zero drama, maximum flavor, and it'll outlive your Netflix subscription by several decades. Plant 4 Sorrel. If you've never tasted sorrel, Imagine spinach went on vacation to Lemontown and came back with a zingy, citrusy personality. That's sorrel. It's got this bright, lemony flavor that wakes up salads, makes incredible sauces, and adds a punch to soups. French sorrel is the variety most people grow, and it's ridiculously easy. The leaves come up super early in spring, way before most things are even thinking about growing. You can keep harvesting all through the growing season, and it'll keep pushing out new leaves. The plants spread slowly through their roots, so you'll gradually get more and more sorrel without doing a thing. It handles shade better than most vegetables, so you can tuck it in spots where not much else will grow. Plant it in spring or fall, keep it somewhat watered, and you've got fresh greens for the next 10 years minimum. Hey, quick question for you. Are you already growing any perennial crops in your garden? Drop a comment below and let me know which ones. And if you're discovering some of these for the first time and your mind's getting blown right now, go ahead and smash that like button. It helps other gardeners find this video and start their own forever gardens. Now let's keep going because the next ones are absolute game changers. Plant 5 rhubarb. Rhubarb is basically the honey badger of the garden. It doesn't care about your soil quality, your weather, your gardening skills, or your feelings. It just grows year after year, like some kind of unstoppable tart vegetable force. Those thick, ruby red stalks are perfect for pies, jams, sauces, and even savory dishes. A single rhubarb plant will give you pounds and pounds of stalks every spring and early summer for 15 to 20 years or more. I've seen rhubarb plants at old abandoned homesteads still producing strong after half a century with zero care. The only thing you need to remember is the leaves are toxic, so never eat those. Just harvest the stalks and you're golden. Divide the plants every 6 or 7 years if they start getting crowded, and you'll have rhubarb to share with the entire neighborhood. Plant in full sun or partial shade, give it decent drainage, and then basically forget about it. It'll be there, cranking out stalks, long after you've moved on to other garden obsessions. Plant 6 sunchokes. Alright, time to talk about Jerusalem artichokes, also called sunchokes. These things are controversial because they're incredibly productive, incredibly hardy, and incredibly enthusiastic about spreading. They're related to sunflowers and grow tall with pretty yellow flowers. Underground, they make these knobby tubers that taste like a cross between an artichoke heart and a potato with a slight nutty sweetness. You can roast them, fry them, mash them, or eat them raw in salads. Here's the deal. They will spread if you let them. But if you give them their own dedicated bed or plant them where you actually want them to fill in, they're absolute gold. They'll grow in poor soil, handle drought, shrug off pests, and produce buckets of tubers with basically no input from you. Harvest what you need in fall and winter, and whatever you leave in the ground becomes next year's crop. Just be thoughtful about placement because once you have them, you pretty much always have them. But honestly, if you're looking for a reliable, no-fail food source, sunchokes are hard to beat. Plant 7 horseradish. Want fresh, tear-inducing, sinus-clearing horseradish whenever you want it? Plant it once. That's it. You're done for life. Horseradish is technically a perennial root that'll keep growing year after year in the same spot. The roots get bigger and hotter with time. You harvest roots in fall or early spring by digging up what you need, grating it fresh, and mixing it with vinegar to make the condiment. One plant spreads into multiple plants. Any little piece of root left in the ground becomes a new plant. Some people actually consider it invasive, which should tell you how easy it is to grow. Give it a corner of the garden, some decent soil, and forget it exists until you want fresh horseradish for your roast beef. It's also a fantastic companion plant because the leaves contain compounds that help repel pests. Plus, those big leaves are pretty dramatic looking. Just wear gloves when you're processing the roots, or you'll be crying tears of spicy regret. Plant 8 Good King Henry. This is one of those plants that was super common in European cottage gardens for centuries but got forgotten when modern grocery stores took over. Good King Henry is sometimes called Lincolnshire spinach, and it gives you edible leaves, shoots, and flower buds from early spring through fall. The leaves taste similar to spinach and can be used the same way. The young shoots can be cooked like asparagus. Even the flower buds are edible like tiny broccoli florets. It's basically 3 vegetables in one plant that comes back every year without any help. It grows in sun or partial shade, handles poor soil pretty well, and keeps producing for years once established. This is one of those plants that makes you wonder why it ever fell out of favor because it's genuinely useful and genuinely easy. If you want something unique that'll make your gardening friends ask questions, Good King Henry is your plant. Just give it some space because it gets about 2 feet tall and wide. Plant 9. Wild garlic. Last but absolutely not least, let's talk about wild garlic, also called ramps or ramsons depending on where you live. If you've got a shady spot in your yard that doesn't get much love, this is your answer. Wild garlic grows naturally in woodland areas, so it actually prefers shade and moist soil. The leaves have this incredible garlicky flavor but milder and more complex than regular garlic. You can use them in pesto, salads, stir-fries, anywhere you want that garlic flavor with a green vegetable twist. Plant the bulbs in fall, and they'll come up in early spring before most other things start growing. They spread slowly by bulbs and seeds, creating bigger patches over time. In areas where they're native, they carpet entire forest floors. The key with wild garlic is patience in the first year or two while it establishes, and then being thoughtful about harvesting. Take only what you need so the patch can keep expanding. But once you've got it going, you'll have this amazing early spring crop in a part of your garden where most vegetables won't even grow. So there you have it. 9 incredible perennial crops that'll keep producing year after year with minimal effort from you. Walking onions that plant themselves. Asparagus that outlives generations. Love instead of fussy celery. Tangy sorrel. Indestructible rhubarb. Productive sunchokes. Spicy horseradish. Forgotten Good King Henry. And woodland wild garlic. The beauty of these plants is their investments. A little time and effort now pays dividends for years or even decades. You're not just growing food. You're building a permanent food system right in your own backyard that gets better with age. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these are you most excited to try? Are there any other perennial crops you think deserve a spot on this list? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I love learning from this community. And if you found this valuable, do me a favor. Share this video with someone who's trying to save money on groceries or who wants a lower maintenance garden. Let's spread these forgotten gems so more people can benefit from them. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already because we've got so much more budget-friendly gardening wisdom coming your way. Hit that like button, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next video where we keep growing more while spending less. Until then, happy gardening, friends.